We're back. Vesper, how do you guys read the final ending of Vesper? We're assuming people have already seen this, all the immersive storylines. We have Vesper. What is the name of the subset of human beings who actually cover their faces? I don't even know their names, but they're basically pilgrims. Very good, Air Combs. So at the end, look, one thing, I don't know if you guys agree with me. I love how the ending, where you're automatically assuming she's going to go with the Jug or the Judd or the Jug, played by Rosy McEwen. They would have a nice little family, little atomic family going on. But did you guys appreciate how that doesn't happen? The Jug ends, that the tragic fate. She ends up being sort of a victim of the Citadel. Did you like the fact that she doesn't end up in a happy place at the end? What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, thought they would put more emphasis on her mom because her mom ran away with the pilgrims. And I'm assuming that was her mom at the beginning, the first pilgrim we see. I just kind of assumed that was her. And then when she goes to spread the seeds, like climb the tower and then throw the seeds out after they've been unlocked, I thought that maybe something would have came to a head there, but it didn't. But that's fine. I kind of like the moment of it, just how it was, like her just climbing to the top of the mountain and setting everything free.
What about you, Bruce? The creative choice. There's no Camellia, who's the Jug. She's not going to be the mother figure. Her father obviously dies in that explosion. There's that self-explosion to sacrifice himself. And then her uncle, Jonas, played by Eddie Marsan. He's an uncle by blood, but he's just a horrible human being. What do you think of her being just alone on herself without the parental figures with her? Or
I think it makes sense, and I think narratively it works because you're kind of watching her finally come into her own. That's kind of the whole movie is doing that, right? It's becoming her own person, kind of by default to some degree, but having to like be, not dependent on her dad, not taking care of her dad forever, not having all these other things holding her in, and being, in a sense, free, but also in this scary world, but also in the sense, I guess, quote, empowered. So I think it works really well thematically. And once again, I wasn't bothered by some of those, quote, loose ends, because part of what I love about this is that the world seems bigger than we know, and we're only seeing these little edges of it. I just trusted the filmmaker by that point to know that all of these things make sense in their head, so it worked for me. And then that final shot of the seeds that are now sprouted, and they're like floating down, and they're little seedlings. I thought that was pretty beautiful, pretty amazing. After she climbs that great tower, I mean, it's pretty awesome.
We forgot to mention this. Did you find the music that was slathered all throughout the narrative? Did that enhance it? Did you want less music? Because
the music was really good. It was kind of like up there with like the theme song Norman from Fury, the movie Fury.
Right.
Just like really epic and beautiful sounding.
It didn't intrude to me either. I just felt like it went with the world. So
I would say it intruded, but it like busted in. I'm like, oh, good, you're here. Sweet, come sit next to me.
Weirdly, I'm weird. It didn't bother me. Sometimes it does bother me. I didn't even hardly notice it.
It stood out for sure. I think it enhanced the movie for me.
Yeah. And maybe this was just obvious symbolism, but what did you guys think of the end? Okay, so you love the ending, Bruce. She's climbing up that tower, that long wooden tower, through that ladder with the wooden ladder, and she's at the top, and there's that look where she looks to one direction, and there's the Citadel, and there's the sprouts. She has a future of tech in her hands. Right. And instead of looking at the Citadel, and it could have ended there because that's where she wants to go. You have her looking the other way and throwing where that tech will go, which is pretty much her home, the people who are trying to subsist on that. Was that an obvious piece of symbolism? Did you guys read? That was my take, that she may not really be looking for the Citadel anymore. She has the stuff in her hand, and she's going to stay here, and actually bring fruit to this world.
I didn't pick up on that at all, but now that you mention it, it totally works. Because the Citadel's over here, but she throws the seeds over here.
Yep.
Actually, that works really good.
Yeah, I took it as not even symbolism. I just took it as a literal choice. Like, you're literally showing her choice in that moment. So, but I mean, obviously that's what it's saying to us, but I think that it was not even, it wasn't trying to make it even sneaky. It was just like, I'm not going to go there. And that's where she'd wanted to go the whole time, and she just didn't end up wanting to go there. Can we highlight one other little thing real quick and then hop in? I just want to say, how awesome was that tense moments in that grass that would kill the guys? Yes. How awesome was that whole scene? I didn't want to talk about it in our review, but that was freaking great.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't go anywhere near that grass if I knew what it did.
Look,
there's red grass. Red grass? What the fuck are we doing here?
Look, there's never going to be a sequel to Vesper, but I think it could warrant, because the world is so amazing. Yeah. We could find out what the Citadel. I mean, I don't know. Could there 1% chance? Would you guys welcome a sequel to Vesper, if even though it's a closed off ending?
I mean, it's totally a movie like Star Wars. It easily could be. I don't see that happening,
Or
but
Lord of the
if it
Rings.
did,
Yeah.
yeah. The weird thing is, this is so much like Lord of the Rings, and it's condensed down into one movie. Like,
That is high praise, Eric Holmes. Look at that. Yeah.
we're gonna move this thing, and we're gonna take this thing and do the hero's journey and get here with it, even to the point where at the end she climbs Mount Doom, I mean the tower, and drops the ring, I mean the seeds, into the lava, or the forest. This does all that
Lawsuit. You're gonna have Tolkien.
This is all the Lord of, and this is not to disparage Vesper. In fact, quite the other way around. They managed to get like all the good stuff out of Lord of the Rings and then just condense it down into something that's not a 12-hour extended cut. So good on you.
Good on you. We all love Vesper. That is our spoiler discussion of Vesper. One more thing, guys. Do you think it would have been a more inspirational thing? My take on as a writer, she keeps the seeds. She gets a one-way ticket to Citadel and sells her product to the highest bidder. Do you think that would have been work? Like Ace in the Hole?
That would be the Greg Srzawowski story.
Okay, the Greg. It wouldn't be called Vesper; it'd be called Greg Srzawowski. That's good. Tell us what you think of Vesper. Did the end of Vesper get you emotional? Is Raffiella Chapman, is she a big star? I think she is. I'm gonna put my money on her. Actually, well, guys, you put your money on her as an actress in the future. What do you think? It's okay, Bruce. Yeah,
I'd say so. Yes,
I'd say so. We all love Vesper, and we all love you guys. We'll see you next time on Find Your Film.